crime. Britain is a peaceful place, and most of the time, wherever you are, crime isn't really a problem. But behind the scenes, there are some crime stories to be told. And one of the fastest growing crimes is stealing antiques. It's big business for the criminals. Find an old house or shop full of antique furniture, steal the antiques, and sell them on to another shop or antique collector.
Well, we'd been shopping and we arrived and left the car down at the barn, and I immediately saw there were tracks, and I was cross because there were tracks in the grass and meant that, you push the mower into it. So I came dashing up here to see what it was, opened the door, and immediately saw that on that little cabinet round there, the things that were on there were missing. Came into the dining room here because the door was open. Everything was tipped up, the salt was on the floor, this was empty, and those shelves that were my pride and joy were totally empty, everything had gone.
My husband still doesn't like to go out and leave me here on my own. I mean, I've come to terms with that, I'm not so worried about that now, but he gets very anxious.
Well, it's made me very,
For a long time, neighbours and friends wouldn't let me be here on my own, but I mean, you can't go on like that forever, can you? And I don't really mind now, except that there's this underlying feeling of apprehension.
For the first week, we avoided both of us going out at the same time, but obviously we couldn't carry on doing that, so we adopted a procedure of when we both went out, we put the Land Rover, we've got an old Land Rover, we'd stand it on the bridge to block the last 150 yards or so of drive up to the house. So they couldn't bring a vehicle up at all, as there's only one way in and one way out.
But it's a dreadful society we live in that you have to do that, isn't it? Have great steel posts at the entrance to your drive as if you're Fort Knox, and a new oak door that's huge and can't be crowbarred open. It is an awful feeling. And people have said, oh, you must have bars at your window. But you can't do that, can you? It'd be like living in a prison.
Chances are that the people who steal antiques will get caught sooner or later. It's not exactly crime, but it's very easy to lose things wherever you are. And all over Britain, in railway stations and at airports, there are lost property centres, places which collect up the things that people forget or leave behind. So how do you check to see if something you've lost has been handed in to a lost property office? Have a look at this.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How can I help?
I left a rucksack on a train that came from Manchester at 5:30 yesterday. I was wondering if it had been found.
Could you tell me what the rucksack looked like?
It was dark blue with black straps, and there was a red badge on the front as well.
I'm sorry, we haven't found one, but if you'd like me to take your name and number.
Okay. It's Robert Elliott, 48 Winchester Close, Ford Bridge.
And your telephone number?
01598 644 153.
Lovely. If we find it, we'll contact you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
But misunderstandings about property can sometimes arise. Here's what happened when Jake Martin came back from a shopping trip and tried to get into the wrong car.
Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?
Sorry?
What exactly are you doing?
What's it got to do with you?
This is my car.
Look, this is my car and it's parked exactly where I left it.
I don't think so. What's the registration number of your car?
R484ADX.
Well, mine is E678SKK, which is this car.
I must have made a mistake. Look, I'm very sorry.
No, it's fine. I just thought you were trying to steal my car.
How embarrassing. I must have made a mistake. I'm so sorry. It's the same make and model and colour.
It's fine, really.
Sorry.
Very embarrassing for Jake, particularly since he was trying to get into another TV reporter's car. Sports and hobbies. Collecting things is an important hobby in Britain, and collecting is something that you can start when you're still young.
My name's James and I collect stamps, and here are some of the stamps I have collected, which are from Canada. I collect empty ink cartridges. I get them from my school fountain pen, and my friends who use them as well, they give them to me afterwards. That cost £1 for a whole pack. We've got exactly 368 horses. My favourite one is Polly. We collect all different mates. Just an individual one can cost up to about £3 to £4. I'll carry on collecting them, and then perhaps I can get lots of different shapes and sizes. Maybe make something out of them or something. I think I'll go on collecting them until I'm a teenager.
Stamps to toy horses, but whatever you collect, it makes a great hobby.
But some people prefer a more active hobby. And all over Britain there are plenty of sports clubs. Join a sports club and you can pretty well choose what you want to do. This one has a swimming pool, so you can get fit and enjoy yourself almost every day of the year. Or, if you fancy a little badminton, get together with a few friends and you can spend your evenings using the badminton courts. If you prefer an outdoor sport, most clubs have football teams. You can train, practice, and then take part in a match each weekend. But before you join up, it's not a bad idea to get yourself checked over by a doctor to make sure that you're fit enough for some of the more demanding sports. Take a look at this.
Well, your blood pressure's fine, you don't seem to have any heart problems at all. What is it that you're planning to do?
Well, I'm hoping to join a sports club in Littlehampton, and I'd like to get into their hockey team.
Right, and have you been taking any regular exercise over the past 12 months?
Nothing special, just walking to work each day.
And you haven't been doing any sport over the last year?
No, I haven't.
Right, well, hockey's quite a demanding sport. I suggest that you build up your fitness a bit before you start to play.
What sort of thing?
Go to the gym a couple of times a week, swimming, that sort of thing.
Okay, and how long before I can start playing hockey?
3 to 4 weeks, I reckon.
Thanks very much, Doctor.
I hope you make the team.
I'm sure I shall.
Now for Lindsay Farlow, who's taking up a hobby herself.
Fitness training is one of the fastest growing hobbies in Britain. I'm not much of an athlete myself, but I do fancy a go on the gym equipment to get fit. So I'm here at my local sports club to ask fitness instructor Colin Ford what to do. What's this machine called?
This piece of equipment is called a treadmill.
How does the treadmill work then?
There's a motor inside that will cause you to run or walk without actually going on a journey.
And how is the treadmill good for your fitness?
Just good for your all-round fitness and keep the heart pumping.
How long should I use it per session?
I'd recommend about 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Now Colin, I know that this is a rowing machine, but how do I use it?
Simply strap your feet in, introduce bottom to ankles, take hold, upper body and lower body, muscles used together. Simple as that.
What does it do for your fitness?
As well as an aerobic exercise, very good for the lower body muscles and the upper body. Good all-rounder.
And how long should I row for?
I'd recommend about 10 minutes.
Colin, I'm a bit scared of this machine because of all the weights. Can you show me how to use it, please?
Yeah. It's not as bad as it looks. Grab the bar, sit yourself down, pull the bar to the back of the head.
And how's it good for your fitness?
This will work your biceps and your back.
Lovely, thank you. Mighty muscles in just 6 months is what Colin promises me if I go to the gym 3 times a week. It's £24 to join, so that's £6 a week or £2 a session. Very good value. And who knows, in a few years I might make the British Olympic team and win a gold medal. Yes! Lindsay Farlow reporting for the Enterprise Review at the Norwich Sports Village.
Earth, SOS. What's really happening to our planet? Are we completely destroying the environment with all the pollution put out by big cities right across the world? And what are we doing to the seas? Are all the oil and gas platforms helping to destroy life in the seas? Are we taking too many fish from the sea with our fishing methods? All over the world, climates seem to be changing. So what's the impact on people's lives? Well, it depends where you live. In Britain, the greatest danger is from rising sea levels. Much of the coast around Britain is low-lying. As the climate becomes warmer, coastlines will flood more often and eventually remain underwater forever. It's already happened in some areas. Our reporter Lindsay Farlow explains.
This is the village of Dunwich in southeast England. The rest of the village over there has been eaten up by the sea. I'll show you. The village of Dunwich used to run for more than a mile out there. Ancient houses, old cottages, barns, and even a couple of churches have disappeared as the sea has moved inland. Local people say that on very dark nights you can even hear the sound of church bells being rung by a ghost from under the sea. Lindsay Farlow reporting for the Enterprise Review.
Well, I don't believe in ghosts. I prefer a few four-legged friends to cheer me up. Now, lots of people in Britain keep pets, and one of the most popular small pets is the rabbit. We asked a pet shop owner to tell us all about them.
Rabbits are small mammals. Rabbits should be kept in hutches outside with plenty of straw and hay. Blankets may be needed when it's cold to place over the hutch. Occasionally they can be given fruit and vegetables such as lettuce or carrots.
End of Module 3.